Is that pretty much right?
You just put a gun in my head.
Relax, Jay. The safety was on. Oh, no. It wasn't on.
What?
Whew, imagine that.
Before we can be the best, we gotta master the fundamentals. Hey, dog, you ever touch a titty before? That's your titty. You gotta hold it tight.
Do I have consent of touching the titty?
You got my consent, okay?
I like the titty thing. Keep that. I like the titty thing. JJ, how you liking this game?
Coach, I don't know what I'm doing.
Do you remember what you were like when you showed up freshman year? You were a pain in the ass.
I don't owe nobody nothing.
Sound just like me. If you really want to win a game, stop pushing away your team. Let's go!
It was like a Black Princess layup.
New jerseys for y'all.
Does his jersey say titties?
Underdogs on 3, underdogs on me. 1, 2, 3.
What's my name?
Underdoggs is a story of an athlete who was once upon a time one of the greatest athletes in his mind, being forced to go back to his old neighborhood and, you know, find his way again and tap into who he is rather than who he thought he was. And it's a learning lesson. It's a journey of, you know, someone's career, someone's past, and someone's future. At the same time, you know, engaging with old friends and new friends through the kids, through the relationship that I had with my partner Kareem and the relationship I had with my girl Sharice, just sparking up old flames and, you know, being able to go back and see my coach to get me the spirit of being who I'm supposed to be, because at times my character gets lost within the idea of him being, you know, a superstar and being a regular human being. This is like some real deal, what I love dealing with, like kids who experience wanting to be grown, but the adult gives them enough room to hang themselves and then he puts them back in their place. That's the way I grew up. Like, I couldn't cuss around my mother, but my uncles, I can cuss like around them. You know what I'm saying? So it was like certain things I could get away with, and I feel like this movie is so perfect for that because it enables these kids to be real.
I play Sharice in Underdoggs. I play Trey's mom, who's he's a kid who is at times troubled, but like he's ultimately a really good kid. And I play also Snoop's Jaycen Jennings, high school sweetheart. So the through line of the story is kind of this unit who has moved from high school to where we are today in our careers, and we meet where we are now, like modern history, and we go from there.
Kareem is one of Jaycen's, who's played by Snoop, one of his neighborhood friends. Jaycen ends up giving Kareem an opportunity to coach the kids. You know, it was a great thing that Jaycen seen some use in Kareem, and he kind of gelled right with the kids because he came with a, you know, like a love, a tough love reality to the kids. And you know, sometimes working with kids, especially kids who talk like that, you gotta have a little edge. If not, they'll run you over. So I think Kareem came in handy when it came to that.
Jaycen Jennings is the greatest to ever walk on grass. He's fly, flamboyant. He's a winner, sore loser. He's an asshole. So we don't really mix a match like that. The only thing that we similar at is probably we look alike. Working with the rest of the cast, well, Tika is my friend. That's my homegirl. She been my homegirl for a while. Boom, Mike Epps. Meet him back in the days, my homeboy. George Lopez back in the days. So when it's time to do this movie and it's casting, you know, certain names pop up, I naturally just say, oh, that's his role. Oh, that's her role. And when they do the screen test and do the reading with me, it's right out the park because you can feel the chemistry. So to be able to work with your friends and know that they're professional and they have a resume and they really great at what they do makes me better.
I think the comedy lies in the irreverence of the way the kids talk. I think the writers did an excellent job capturing the personality of Jaycen Jennings, which obviously is infused with some of Snoop, but I think people are going to be surprised on, I mean, because Snoop's in every aspect of the film. And so I don't know if he's gotten this opportunity to show his comedy chops, also his drama chops, and then also working with
I
kids.
think the comedy fans are gonna cry, they're gonna laugh, they're gonna be mad, they're gonna be sad, they're gonna cheer, they're gonna do a lot of things because this movie is based off of a lot of different emotions. You know, the fact that they're working with kids, that kids are working in this movie, it has a really sub-story that means a lot. You know, this is giving back on another scale. I mean, and Snoop in his real life, that's what he do. You know, he runs his football leagues. He sent a lot of kids to college. You know, he's doing this for real. So the movie is going to be real authentic to the audience.
The comedy in this movie it's roller coaster because it's not typical. It's not your typical urban comedy. You know, you're dealing with kids and you're dealing with all different races and you're dealing with different genres. So we wanted to make sure that we hit all of the angles that come with Snoop Dogg, right? Because Snoop Dogg is the star. So when you think of the star, you think about, okay, who is he playing? Jaycen Jennings. Well, he has to bring a little bit of Snoop Dogg to Jaycen Jennings. So this will enable me to captivate and cultivate the whole audience at the same time while doing my thing under the Jaycen Jennings moniker. Jaycen and Kareem. Kareem was one of Jaycen's childhood friends. They used to spend the night together. They played football together. They did everything together practically. But Jaycen chose another path as far as athletics and school and education, and Kareem chose his path. But it never knocked them from being friends. It took one on a different journey. And now that they're back together again, Kareem is still in the mind state of, we still kids. We still buddies from elementary school. It's just the way it was. Everything is just like it was, like it never changed. But Jaycen is so far detached to where he feels distant, but Kareem is pulling him back in because this is the reality that he's been missing. He's been missing somebody to check him and give him things that are truth rather than, you know, blowing smoke up Jaycen's ass because that's what he's used to.
Oh man, Snoop is a pleasure to work with. No pressure. You know, a joy to work with. Always cool, you know. Sometimes you work with other actors and stuff. You work with people and you just don't get that natural feeling. It's almost like your friends working with each other.
I was on the show, my first job, One Life to Live, and he's like, I love that show. And so I've known him for a very long time, and we've, you know, stayed in touch, and he's been the same person in the sense of kindness and funny and just shows so much love and never changes no matter who's around. And I always respected that about him, and I'm just glad that I can work with him in such a longer period of time because I've really gotten to be in the presence of an icon. I'm like, you're an icon, dude. You know, I just watched the Super Bowl over again, you know, because of you. And he'll say something like, man, I was on that stage. I was a fan too. I couldn't believe I was there. And so I think, again, his authenticity of like being grateful for where he is and knowing where he came from, I think that's why he's Snoop. And I think that's why everybody loves him. And so I'm so grateful to be able to still work with him.
Yeah, I think the Underdoggs is like a team that I coached once upon a time. I've coached a lot of teams that were just great, and they were superlative, and they just outmatched everybody. And then recently I coached a couple of underdog teams that wasn't expected to do much. Kids never knew how to play football. This was their first year, and then we grew over a time period of me becoming a better coach, them becoming better players. I'm learning from them learning from me. And then eventually these kids end up winning the championship and going to high school and then going to college. And then some of them in the NFL right now, and they still call me coach to this day. So that's the biggest achievement to me, is to be able to still remain coach years after I coached these underdogs.
Well, you know, that's one thing about when you put together a movie, you always have a vision of what the movie looks like. And I think they did a great job casting this. You know, everybody on the movie set, besides the kids, are pretty much veterans. We've been in the game for a long time. Tika, she does great work. Very beautiful, always play that beautiful love interest. George Lopez came in, did his thing. Andrew. So, you know, when you put the new with the veterans, you end up getting that full effect.
Yeah, I mean, Boss Lady, you know, the obvious inspiration for Charisse, and I was honored that when I met her, she was just like, I'm so happy, you know, she was just like happy that I'm playing, you know, and I playing her or an inspiration of her, and I just love their love story. When they walk on set, I was just watching them and how they don't always have to talk, you know what I mean? That you just feel their bond and they're just super connected. And so I hope I took some of that and mixed it in with what we're doing. And I just love their love story. I love that she's known him since high school. And I love that they're still together after all these years, especially in our business, which, I mean, a year is like 20 years. You know what I mean? So they've been together for a very long time. I don't know. I just think they're universally loved by so many people. And I think this story, them inspiring this story, I think is something that I think everybody could relate to and hope for in their own lives. So not only is it a football action story, it's also a love story, right? Two people finding their way back to each other after all this time.
Snoop Youth Football League was created in 2005. We've done a lot of great works in the community. We've sent a lot of kids to high school to graduate, a lot of kids to Division I colleges, and then all over colleges to graduate. We sent a lot of kids to the NFL. We got Rhodes Scholars, lawyers, firemen, police chiefs. Like, we've done a lot of great work in the community from a football league that started, you know, over 15 years ago to now. We're in a great space. And then like 3 or 4 years ago, we started the Snoop Youth Special Stars, where we deal with kids with disabilities and special needs. So now we compliment all of the kids. We're not missing and we're not leaving no kid behind. So we got the kids that are athletic, and then we got the special needs kids. And it's just a culmination of who I am, as far as like, I love to give back and I love to be a part of these kids' life, because I'm the biggest kid in the room. Working with Charles Stone, let me tell you, I was honored to work with him, because one of my favorite movies is Paid in Full. And when I found out that that's the movie that he directed, I was like, oh, I gotta work with him. So I'm expecting some gangster shit, but then I'm like, okay, this movie ain't that. So when we get to the point of actually shooting the movie, I'm noticing how he's like, every time we shoot, he'll come over to me and he'll talk to me, and he gives me information and direction on how the scene could be better or how I could do it in a different way. And that's what I thrive for. That's what I long for as an actor. I long for a director to actually direct me and not just feel like, okay, he's got it, he can, no. Say it this way, no. Think about this when you do it. Put a little bit of this in there, no. Come in hot, no. Think about it before you do this. Turn this way, like, that's the part of an actor that I've always dreamed of having a great director to direct me. And that's what I'm getting in this movie right now. I'm getting great direction. Hopefully it looks as good as it feels, you know, to where people can enjoy the shit the way I've been enjoying myself as the lead in this movie.
I think people should go see this movie, and especially if you from my age group, you're gonna always remember the Bad News Bears. And if you knew, we all know about the football leagues, the youth football leagues. You're gonna love this movie. This is about heart. This is about fun. And like, everybody got kids, you know? You're gonna be able to enjoy this. This is a family movie. It's cursing, but you know, we live in a rough society. I don't think nobody's gonna be offended by hearing a curse word or two.
I think this movie right here is a community rebuilder. It will help build the community to show that this is the way the community is supposed to be. Everybody's looking out for each other. We're supposed to cater to and make sure that we all are accompanying each other and supporting each other. And that's what this story is mainly about. It's about a successful athlete who made it, but he moved away from his hood, but now he's forced to go back, and he's finding out that he never left, but at the same time, the people from the hood has always had his back, and this is gonna help him become the real person that he's supposed to be and not the superstar.
America loves motherfucking grapes. I'm Jaycen, 2 J's Jennings. I was a football legend. But once you reach the mountaintop of greatness, everybody wants to see you fall.
The problem is that you're a selfish prick who's impossible to work with.
Man, fuck you, you Harold and Kumar looking motherfucker. I'm through with this shit.
Karma is a bitch.
You pled guilty to charges of speeding and damage to city property. I'm recommending community service with the Long Beach Recreations Department.
The fuck? I thought I was getting like some Martha Stewart kind of treatment.
From the depths of the sea, back to the block, Snoop Dogg, monkey at the dock.
I am your new head coach.
You a washed up loser. He used a fake penis to cheat on drug tests.
I won one of these, you booger-nosed motherfuckers.
Watch it, Jaycen.
Keys!
Kareem!
Jaycen! I've been trying to get back in touch with you for years. I know you've been thinking about me, and I know you've been trying to get in touch with me. Is that pretty much right?
You just put a gun in my head.
Relax, Jay. The safety was on. Oh, no. It wasn't on.
What?
Whew, imagine that.
Before we can be the best, we gotta master the fundamentals. Hey, dog, you ever touched a titty before? That's your titty. You gotta hold it tight.
Do I have consent of touching the titty?
You got my consent, okay?
I like the titty thing. Keep that. I like the titty thing. JJ, how you liking this game?
Coach, I don't know what I'm doing.
Do you remember what you were like when you showed up freshman year? You were a pain in the ass.
I don't owe nobody nothing.
Sound just like me. If you really wanna win a game, stop pushing away your team.
Let's go! It looks like a Black Princess layup.
New jerseys for y'all.
Does his jersey say titties?
Underdogs on 3, underdogs on me.
1, 2, 3.
What's my name?
Pretty boy, you missing pass after pass. You got on all this sweet ass shit.
Next time you come out here acting like a fake-ass rapper, we gonna kick your ass off the field. Stop acting like you got an album coming out.